In a world of first-person shooters, two franchises stand above the rest, and gamers fight over who's the best. Hey man, that rhymed. Shh, I'm not done my intro. Oh, okay, sorry. Halo, the futuristic aliens vs. super soldier gun-blazing first-person shooter. And Call of Duty, basing its stories on historical events and average humans. Both have been pitted against one another as being the best first-person shooter. And today, one gamer will dare to ask the question, which is the best? Well, if that just didn't put a little bit of pressure on things. So yeah, Halo and Call of Duty. Now personally, I'm gonna say right off the bat, I am a Halo girl. But I've actually never played any of the Call of Duty games. Now my brother Andrew has, and in fact Call of Duty 3 is actually probably one of his favorite games. But he's a history buff and likes the historical aspect of video games, where I'm more of a sci-fi fantasy kind of gamer. But let's get started on which is the better first-person shooter. Oh my god, is she really gonna go there? Oh yes, she is. So yesterday I decided to make this as fair as a comparison as I could. So I played an hour and a half of Halo 3 and Call of Duty World at War. Both games I have never played before, so hopefully that would have gotten rid of any little bit of favoritism. We'll look at the game's controls, visuals, and gameplay, plus any other commentary I feel the need to add. So let's start with Halo 3. To start off, Master Chief does as Master Chief does and is free-falling from, well, space. Graceful landing in, and you get started by finding out you've lost Cortana, your AI, and are now friends with an alien, a member of the Covenant. These are technically the bad guys in the Halo franchise, the alien scourge that we were trying to defend humanity against, but in this game, some of them are good and some of them are bad, and oh my god, they can all speak English! Once you do get to play, you have to go through an eye exam. I don't know, it feels just like when I go to the optometrist for my yearly checkup.
Look up here, sir. Now down here. Up here. Again down here.
At first I kept getting my buttons mixed up, mainly with the reload and the melee, because I think they flipped in Halo 4. I vaguely remember that right bumper was melee, and in this game it's not. So I had to quick flip them in the control screen menu so that would stop happening. But after I got that figured out, it was all good. So overall, the controls were good. I find that the control sticks are a little bit on the sensitive side, especially when it comes to the camera control. Next thing you know, you're looking all the way over there when the bad guy's right in front of you. But I feel that that's pretty much every Halo game. Now, the visuals in Halo never disappoint. Halo 3 came out in 2007, and by then, we had a very good handle on visuals in gaming. But my god, you can't tell me you don't look at this and just be in awe of it. The lighting, depth, movement of everything from the plants to the characters around you are always so smooth and clean and just riveting. Mind you, though, the people maybe needed a little bit of work on their lips flapping and faces. Ew. So, visuals. I'll be fair and say that the scenery and gameplay is awesome, but the cutscenes and actual people need a little bit of work. Now, gameplay. You got your typical stuff, radar, health bar, variety of weapons, which I freaking love the hammer, by the way. It's so much fun. Master Chief, smash! And the dual system with your weapons is an awesome concept, except I forgot that it was a thing a lot of the time, so I very rarely used it. I did notice that compared to Call of Duty, there wasn't a lot of background music while you were out doing your missions, which I feel makes music in Halo all the more awesome and special, because you know that when you start to hear drum beating or even the slightest sign of music starting to play in the background, you know that something's about to go down and it is gonna be awesome. Side note, oh my fucking god, I flew! Shut up, I know how to game! Cortana, I swear to god, get out of my way! Was that cutscene really necessary? I feel like I could have viewed that in-game. Why can't I use grenades? Oh, now I can use grenades. Call of Duty, World at War. I wish to start out by saying we got both of these games secondhand. One of these I got at school when I was in college, and Andrew got this at a secondhand store. And one of the things I found interesting is that Call of Duty has glitching problems. I couldn't play level 1 because the disc was unreadable, yet my Halo game had no such problems. Coincidence? I think not. Now, Andrew wishes to point out that it could be that the disc is simply not in good condition anymore. Heck, maybe somebody was playing Frisbee with it and we don't even know about it. I feel like that proves my point a little bit more. Halo all the way. Anyway, now this is where things got a little bit crazy with Call of Duty. Because I couldn't play level 1, that would have been the tutorial level. So I didn't know what I was doing getting into level 2, which made things a little bit harder. I'm going in blind! But like any good gamer, I was able to learn the controls quickly and change my strategy accordingly. How do I use the other grenade? Oh. Why am I crawling? What is happening? Oh, it's crouch button. How do I run? How do I run? Controls in this game were very different compared to Halo 3, which kind of got me mixed up a couple of times, especially with the melee button. Melee button in Halo 3, I changed so it was the right bumper, whereas this one, it was right control stick in. Yeah, and that would have been my first option. Controlling the camera and your movements felt a little bit better. I found that they weren't as sensitive, so when I looked left, I didn't look left. It also took some time to get into a kind of rhythm with this game. It's not your guns blazing, run in and punch people in the face. You have to be more tactical with it. I figured out my rhythm was crouch when I was reloading, find the next target on my compass while I was reloading, stand to fire, and repeat. But once you did get into rhythm, it seemed a lot harder for you to get killed. You kind of had a better feel for the area around you. The button placement on the controller for your main needs, fire, crouch, reload, sprint, were all in a very good place. They were very quick and easy access to your rest position on a controller, I guess you could say. So controls were very good for what I knew, considering I didn't know half the buttons. But that's not the game's fault. Or is it? The visuals were great on this game. Human players actually looked a little bit more human, and their faces and mouth flapping didn't look as old and wrinkly and polygon-y. And the scenery and different aspects of the landscape and area were clear and very well put together. It created a great ambiance of where and when you were. I felt like I was really in World War II on D-Day. However, one of the biggest pet peeves I have in games, and I know why game developers put these in, but why do game developers put these in? It's quick time events. I hate them. I don't like them. I can't think that fast. I mean, once you know what you're doing, I'm sure they're fine. But when you keep getting killed by sneak attacks and it startles you, and the next thing you know, there's a dude in your face and you panic and you can't fight back and you die and die and die and die and die, it gets a little... ugh. I did like, however, that they didn't have cutscenes during your gameplay. So when you got into a groove and a role of being in the game and that illusion sustained itself, and they didn't have cutscenes until before or after a mission, that was very well placed. It made me feel more like I was my guy. Miller, I think his name was. Even when that dude died, I had full control of my character at that moment, but I was so startled as to what was going on that I felt like it was a real world situation and I couldn't do jack about it. Also fucking grenades, oh my god, they kept killing me because I couldn't figure out how to throw them back, and next thing I know, bah! And lastly, thank God my teammates and fellow soldiermen were invulnerable to my attacks, because I probably would have killed all of them. It was hard to detect friend from foe. Since they all look the same, there wasn't any distinct way to tell who was who, and it wasn't until you walked up to one of them and rather got the green or the red sensor and went, oh, you're not good guy. But then there was also that time that I could have killed my entire team with that flamethrower. With great power comes great responsibility. So final verdict. I'm gonna try to make this quick because this video is already probably way longer than I wanted it to be. But who's the better first-person shooter? The answer is... no one. The problem is it's all too subjective. I personally prefer games where I can go in, shoot people, punch them in the head, and be on my way. But Call of Duty was cool in the fact that it wasn't that kind of a game. It was still a first-person shooter, but it was a much more tactical one. I couldn't go in guns blazing and try punching other people in the face because I would get killed way too fast. That being said, I am not saying that Halo is easier than Call of Duty. Yes, Call of Duty took me a little bit longer, and I even said at one point, damn, this game's hard. But it's all about the kind of gaming that you prefer. I prefer just running in, getting the shit done. I don't want to take time on a game. I play a game to have fun and kill time, not think. Halo can be just as tactful as Call of Duty. Some people prefer it that way. I do not. I play games like first-person shooters usually to blow off steam. I've had a rough day and I just want to blow someone up. But I don't want to play a game where I'm doing that, but I die every 5 seconds because of a grenade that can kill me in one shot, when that'll just piss me off more and turn off the game. Which I almost did with Call of Duty when I kept on dying over and over and over and over. And since I stopped playing Halo and Call of Duty yesterday, Halo is the only game I haven't been able to get out of my mind right now. I want to play that right now, but of course I'm recording this video, but by the time you watch it, it'll be uploaded and I'll probably be playing that right now. So I feel like that says a little bit of something. And with all the commercials that have been playing on TV for Halo 5, every time I see those, I go so goo-goo-eyed over it. I want that game so bad. It looks so good and beautiful and with the new Call of Duty game coming out just around the corner as well, I actually had moments where I thought that was another commercial for Halo 5 because the gameplay and characters looking very similar, that it wasn't until the end that I saw the title that I was like, oh, getting a little copycatty there, Call of Duty. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my Halo versus Call of Duty video. Of course, this is all because Halo and Call of Duty are coming out. They're either out right now by the time you watch it, or they're going to be out really soon. And it was just a kind of hype train to be getting on. Be sure to check in on Tuesdays when my brother Andrew uploads, and Fridays when I, Sarah, upload. And these little boopity boop boop boops right here are actually going to be your opinion. Which one do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer Halo or Call of Duty? Click them and maybe we'll get a bit of a reveal going on for our next episode, whenever that might be. Until then, geek on. I am a soldier, I am a soldier, Spider-Man soldier, Spider-Man soldier.